Hi everybody, it's Dr. Hamilton and I'm here to show you how to do the revision piece. All right, there's not really a good angle to look at me because, what can I say? You might get wiser, but you don't get more gorgeous. Anyhow, let's put it here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take you through an assignment that shows you how to do the homework, revise, which is called revise this introduction quote, "We all have friends." Okay, so that is the assignment that I'm going to show you how to do. All right, now the first thing I want to remind you is that you're going to copy the text and drop it into here. Okay, and we're going to need three versions. We're going to need the original, oops, and then we're going to have the with editing, including Grammarly, and then the new draft. Okay. All right. If you take a look at the directions, let's see if I can bring those. All right. So if we take a look at the assignment, so what we're going to do is we're going to copy this and drop it into a document. And here are the directions to strike through, to add all caps, and then to make grammatical repairs. I'll have to change this a little bit because you want to discard and change the font color to light gray on okay. Make your additions in all caps. So let's just say additions. Your additions to the text should be all caps. Okay. All right, now I have changed this to where you can have a third version because students found it really difficult to work around the horrible mistakes. Okay, so let me walk you through what we're talking about. But first, let's go back to the slide so that we know how we should save the document. Okay, copy and paste the text, okay, which I have inside the assignment for you. Paste it in a Google Doc, name the document this, make sure it's double spaced. This is a little bit different. Oops. say, oh, I can do it now this way. Mm-hmm. Okay. I followed the directions at the assignment because, okay, and I'm going to show you the text on the next slide. Okay, so, oh, somebody's here checking me out and we're making a video. Let's see here, copy the text, paste it in the box. Okay, I'm going to save it as last name, block number, and then this one is called We All Have Friends because that's the first 4 words. But I'm going to take you back to the one we're working on. And we're going to come back and pick up over here. And we are going to name this one. I have video copy of in front of it here, but this is what it would look like. Hamilton ate more often than not. Okay, so that's the actual name of it if it were to be saved. Let's just, I don't want to name it something different because I need to call it this as a sample for my notes. But what you will name it is Hamilton, or your last name. This is the number for the block. There's no word, just the number. And then more often than not. Now your document is going to begin, I think we all have friends. I think. Wrong slides. We all have friends. Okay, so that's why you would name yours. Your last name, Arabic numeral for the block that you're in, and then we all have friends. That's how you're going to save yours. Okay, the document inside, you're going to have we're going to have the with editing included in Grammarly. Okay, so we'll put revision. With editing including Grammarly. Now, the Grammarly isn't going to show, all right, but I know you're going to use it. So here's the original, and let's just make a copy of that. And again, I'm using a different text. Here it is. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is Grammarly. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know Grammarly isn't around when you're doing your FSA. However, it's important that you learn some of these things. And as I said in all my classes, many people, these are all mistakes that everybody in the class would have picked up on. The problem is that this person either didn't bother or they just didn't do it very well. And that is revision. And so what I'm going to say it again, and I'm sure it'll be taken out of context and used against me. But when you're writing in an essay like this, whether it's for the ACE or the FSA, if you finish before time is called, it is my very strong suggestion that you put your head down for 5 minutes. Literally. You don't have to put your head down, but put the essay down. Fold your hands, sing a song in your head. You can't do anything to mess with people, but you can, amuse yourself in some particular way for about 5 minutes, even 10 if you have the time. Pick your head back up and read your document, and I believe you're going to find that it reads very much like a brand new document. And all of these things that this person would have been able to catch, you would catch. Because what is it that we decided this person doesn't look very smart? Okay. Just tons and tons of horrible mistakes. All right. And because I know you don't want to revise all that mess, that was editing that we did. Okay. But when we talk about revisions, we're talking about ideas. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to get down to the idea of what this person is trying to say. And we know that the prompt said, write whether or not the internet, social media, has an impact, a positive or a negative impact on relationships. So here's the thing I need to remember. It's that if that's the case, then my thesis must include 3 ideas. Social media or the internet, relationships, you want to call them friendships, and the third one is positive or negative. All right. I think you may have seen me do it like this. All right. So your thesis is going to have to include, let's just come down here because we're working on the revision here. Okay, why is it doing that? No, just ignore it. Can you just ignore it? The thesis. The thesis must include, we'll take that. The thesis must include social, these are the 3 topics it has to include. Internet or social media, relationships, friendships, and is there a positive or negative correlation. Okay, this is our revising and editing with Grammarly. And what we've already done is we already went through this whole thing and we said, we just took away all of these little red marks. And we did that primarily with Grammarly, a little bit with the Google Docs. Because this, the way they had that, it was kind of tough. Okay. We know what the thesis needs to be, so let's see if we can find his thesis. Online friends are able to fulfill the basic necessity that is required for friendship, as well as easier to make connections with other people. Well, let's fix that sentence. Online friends, you notice I started in the middle, all right? You could start at the top. More often than not, making friends is a bonding experience, okay? Is there anything untrue with that? More often than not. Bonding experience. You know what the person is doing here. They're trying to make it very general. And making new friends occurs through social interactions. Well, that's definitely true. The first part, more often than not. Okay, right there. You've made it so that I can disagree with you. And then when you say bonding, let's say that you and I consider bonding to be something very different. So what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is cross this out. It's Shift-Alt-5 to cross that out. Come on. There it goes. Because this right here, making, I'll have to leave that. Put making new friends occurs through social interactions. True? General. Yes, yes. Okay. In today's world, we are able to talk, write, and to some extent interact with each other. Online friends are able to fulfill the basic necessity that is required for friendship, as well as easier to make connections with people, albeit many critics say that social media hurts our friendships and does more harm than good. All right. Do we have a sentence that this person is trying to make their thesis? Yes. Okay, and this person has subordinated the ideas, but not as smoothly as we would like, okay, because the writer says, albeit, which means although, many critics say that social media hurts our friendships and does, okay, it's really because the idea is incomplete and does more harm than good, comma, the internet can have a positive impact on relationships. Okay, so let's help him say that. And since we're going to add it, we're going to make it all caps. It's the little magnifying glass and Alt to do that on your Chromebooks. And if you're not sure, Google how to make it all caps. You have to make it all caps. Okay, so although I'm going to say it a little differently. I'm going to get my fingers on the right keys. All right. I could take that away and turn it into has, but I don't want to do that because I'm not sure that I want to be that direct. But I'm still saying that it does have positive or negative. It can have positive. All right. So I'm going to throw this away. I'm just going to do here, and then I'm going to say Shift Alt 5. You're using a different word processor program, you'll need to do that differently. And I want you to make that a different color so we can hardly see it. So that when I look down here, I see that you've thrown something away. All right. So here, let's make that lighter also. All right. Because when we get finished, it's actually going to be a little bit shorter. You're going to be like, what? Making new friends occurs through social interactions. That's a beautiful sentence. In today's world, we're able to write, talk, and even to some extent interact with each other online. That's true. Is that true? Yeah. All right. What's the error here? Well, we got a comma, write, talk, and okay, over here I'm going to say this is an issue with parallel structure. It means that items in a series must match grammatically. Okay. So instead of first, second, and third, that would be correct. Whereas first, the second thing, and third is incorrect because it's not parallel. All right, and that's what we mean. So they need to be lined up. So we would first get rid of this and interact. And once he puts that qualifier on there, to some extent, it makes it very clumsy. And we don't want to do that. Okay, so in today's world, we are able to write, talk, and interact with each other online. That would be fine. You could cut it all the way down to interact, all right, or communicate, all right? But I think I'll leave it just like that. So in today's world, we're able to talk, write, and interact with each other online. Okay, so now that's the first two sentences are good, and my last sentence is good, so that leaves me with one more sentence to work on. Online friends are able to fulfill the basic necessity that is required for friendship, as well as easier to make connections with people. Online friends are able to, the basic necessity, I think it needs to be plural. The basic necessities required oh, mm, 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 required for friendship. All right. Now, what's wrong with this next part? As well as easier to make connections with people. Okay, it's a different idea. It's a good idea. It's an important idea. And I'm pretty sure this person is going to discuss their essay based on the fact that online friends do everything that other friends, live body friends can do. And online friends are easier to make, especially at your age, probably. Okay, how am I going to do this? And online friends are, all right, easier to make as well. And then we want to also turn that into a color that we recognize. Okay, we're going to get rid of this. Going to get rid of this. Okay, I know you might not think that's a big deal, but promise you it is. Okay, and what color's our font? There we go. Okay, so now when I look at this, I can see what I've kept and what I've changed, added. Okay, so now I'm going to highlight it all. I'm going to copy it, bring it up here, and I'm going to put it in. Okay. All right. I don't know why that's yellow. Oh, we're going to remove the comment. Delete the comment. Delete the comment. Yeah, we got to delete the comment. We got to delete that. Okay, we missed a letter. Oh, it's not a capital. Okay, we've got to fix this. Online friends are able to fulfill the basic, let's put the whole word in regular case. Required for friendship, and online friends are as well. And I just totally changed the thesis. It made it a lot easier to just rewrite it. Okay, so although many critics will disagree, Okay, although many critics will disagree. Okay, this is a word I could also get rid of. I don't need that. Although critics will disagree, the internet can have a positive impact on friendships. And if I want to make this stronger, the internet has